Well, hello there and welcome back to Blast Backstage in sunny Miami.
Sunny
Miami. Lads, welcome back. Before Navi come on, you've kindly agreed to join me so I don't look completely useless on my own, talking to no one, although this person's gone somewhere.
We've got a lot more space for activities now, so we can do some gymnastics.
We can do activities.
We can do it.
Have you worked on your cartwheels? Did you do that with MIBR?
Sure, yeah.
Okay,
yeah. Did my cartwheels.
So you're ready to go.
Held my legs and they all kind of spam me over and I landed.
It's a good time.
It was fine. It was good times. I should ask, would you like any customary local sweets?
What have we got?
Candies? We have chocolate pretzels. Apparently, is that an American? I don't know if that's.
It sounds very American.
Do you have it in
honest.
Europe? Yeah, we have it all over North America.
Okay, we have what looks like jellyfish. Like
Yeah,
not
jellyfish.
jellyfish,
No,
but
okay, yeah, no,
fish that are jelly candies.
The red fish.
We say sweets because we're normal.
Yeah.
And we've got Swedish fish. They're Swedish fish.
Swedish fish.
Okay.
Swedish
They're
fish.
pretty nice, actually. They're pretty good.
And lastly, I think they're Hershey's drops or Hershey's
Kisses.
Kisses.
Yeah.
Never heard
Hershey's
of that.
Kisses.
I'm fine for now.
You've never heard of
You guys want to get
Hershey's
something?
I'm
no,
on a
we don't
strict
really
diet,
do Hershey.
you know?
Wait,
Yeah,
we're English. We do Cadbury's. Cadbury's, bro.
Only
We do that.
Cadbury?
Yeah. Hershey's nonsense.
We used to
But,
line up at the Cadbury
fine.
factory on Halloween, and they would just give you a whole bag of candy each for every kid in Toronto.
That's like cheating, though. Like,
Yeah, it kind of takes the fun out of it. You go to the
it does.
factory, direct to the source.
We wouldn't stop there.
It does.
We're very indulgent. And
Yeah.
All right, let's have a look. We got loads of questions coming in.
All right.
Nice.
So let's kick things off. Okay, we got Anders says, how long do you think Astralis are going to hold
really
their
working
number
hard these
one placement? My name is Danish. Yeah.
I just like that a tad bit.
Anders Torzaga
he one?
didn't sound anything but Scandinavian. So I was there. I was there with him. Do you think Astralis are going to hold their number one placement? Do you think that's gonna happen?
I think for at least the next 6 months, I would say, in terms of like they might not be as dominant. There'll probably be a couple of fumbles here and there. I don't think they can win every tournament. I don't think that's possible, to be honest. Like they already dropped one this year right to Liquid, but that was a bit of a caveat to that. It was like it was their first tournament of the year. It was a bit of
great start to the
we
year.
can't swear, can we? It was a bit of a difficult event. I feel like, there's going to be the odd event they'll get toppled a couple of times. They won't have a great run. But overall, I think 6 months is about realistic for the new lineups we're seeing and the new kind of formations to kind of really show us whether they're capable of doing it.
Yeah. Fellas all agree?
yeah, more or less. I think do you really dethrone them as number one if, let's say, they don't win the next major,
that's my
right?
point,
Like, to me, no. Like, they could still not win the major. They might just go on in the quarters,
Mm-hmm.
you know, depending on how the bracket sets up, and they can still be number one in the world in my eyes, and I guess to most people as well, just because of the track record they had throughout the last year. So yeah, no, I think it's going to take a while for them to get dethroned in that sense. Maybe it has to be after the next major. I think.
Do we feel like
Navi number one
are keeping their current roster as is after success they've had recently? There's everyone, but like pre-major, everyone's saying like they're definitely changing after this event. It's happening, right? Like these guys are going.
It feels like they're really stacked up with each other. I mean, they got Blade to come in as like the head of esports or something.
Yeah, esports director.
He's like bringing in a health coach, a physician, and something like
that.
It
makes a difference.
Coach.
Sure,
yeah.
Makes a big difference.
Yeah.
So the thing about Navi is that I feel every tournament we have at the beginning discussion of, okay, where's Navi now? Oh, this interview was not so good, these comments and so on. And I almost think that being dysfunctional is functional for them. Like, it's weird to say, but maybe that's the way they actually proceed. They argue a little bit, they get emotional a little bit, but in the end, that's how it works, and it's okay for them.
Yeah.
But not everyone has to be like the perfect working team, sleeping, going to bed early, everything is fine. If Navi that's the way they work, sure, why not?
They muddle their way through.
Well, isn't the only contingency that they do well at events though?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Winning cures all ails, and I think that's because that kind of approach has a bit of an expiration date. I think Virtus Pro is kind of a key example on that because they were like supremely dysfunctional at times to the point where literally after every event they would be arguing or somebody would we'd be talking at an after party about kicking this player or this player, and like it would always happen, but they would stick together. Obviously, they had the longest tenured roster in CSGO history, pretty much.
Yeah.
So it would always be like the tiff and the like explosion of emotions after a failure, and then they'd go on to the next one, win that one. So okay, I guess everything's all right now.
Yeah.
And it's just like a rinse repeat cycle.
It's like a relationship. You're gonna have most of your ups and downs.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And then you let yourselves cool off and you go back into it and realize everything's fine.
Yeah.
Then what do you do?
Well, it depends. It depends.
Then you get married.
It depends. How much money's involved in how many houses. It all depends.
Fair enough.
On that note, we got Mandeep comes in with a new question. Says, who are the most memorable fans you've ever met? Anyone that's really stuck out and you've gone, that person is a memory keeper?
Once I was in Hong Kong as a backstage, it was for Zotac or whatever, and I I was backstage, and then there was a fan by the security that would let you in backstage, and he like flagged me down. He's like, "Launders, Launders, Launders," and I was like, "Oh man, hey, what's going on?" And like I walked over to him, and he was wearing gym shorts, and this kid right in front of me just did the splits in front of the whole audience behind him.
Why? For what reason?
Just
He's trying to just show you his skills.
What am I
or
supposed to do? I just shook his hand afterwards.
Sick, bro. Does that killed it?
But yeah, I mean, I don't know if that's why he wore gym shorts, but
Yeah.
you know,
Got to have the mobility.
Yeah.
that was pretty memorable.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
I don't think I could beat that story, to be honest. I've never had anyone do any sort of gymnastics for me. That's kind of why we hope you would do the cartwheel, to be honest. But
Yeah, it will. I'll do a cartwheel at some stage. Whether
Will you?
Yeah. Well,
That's on camera now.
shall I do
We
it
got
on-
you.
Can you imagine doing it like open the show on Saturday?
just do it right-
cartwheel.
just do it right
fall,
now,
fall on my ass and go, "Way Miami!" You know, that'd be brilliant. Any more fans? Any more weird fans you've met? Any kind of
I've
weird
never had like
situations?
an individual that I really struck out, but playing against Virtus.pro in Katowice at the major, we didn't have sound with proof, so that was just in front, like 11,000 people shouting.
Yeah.
I can never forget that. Plus,
Yeah.
we lost 16-1 the first map, so that was not a good time.
not going to
But
forget that in a hurry.
No, that wasn't really a good time.
That
but
must
the
have
crowd
felt,
was
that must have
enjoying.
felt awesome.
It
That
was-
must have felt
Yes.
great. Yeah,
Yes.
real great, real great.
Not so nice.
Good question. Love that. Matt, I want to say that says Matthias. Says, so which team do you guys think has the biggest upset potential in Miami and why? What do you think?
Maybe, dude, what's with NIP? They brought back Dennis after one event. Poor Draken got booted and then, or brought in for a tournament when he got signed on for a year. I was going to say NIP because they always do well at Blast and they just they come prepared, but now I don't know, like that, like with Dennis just suddenly back in as of a few
weird,
days
yeah.
ago.
I'm going to go FaZe.
FaZe, okay.
Because it's kind of a boring answer simply because they always have upset potential because of the individuals in the team, and the more dysfunctional they seem, the bigger of an upset it's going to be. But when they have their stars aligning, obviously they can beat pretty much anyone. They've showcased that in the past as well. So yeah, I feel like that's a pretty safe dark horse, and that's or they do have a lot of upset potential. I think they also have a pretty good matchup in their Astralis game because they get to play Dust 2.
Most likely.
Yeah, no, we've seen that, so it's very likely.
No, I was talking about
the upset chances.
potential final, yeah.
Yeah, no, for finals, I mean, I'm not sure if I'd go that far for FaZe, but just single game upset potential, I think FaZe has to be really high up there.
I've got a bit of a wild card here. I'm going to go with Anders and Henry G. Going to upset a lot of people. Trust me. It's going to upset a lot of fans.
You've already upset one
tournament organisers, everyone.
Well, you do know there's one person who's already very upset by that, and that's Moses.
Yeah.
He's not in a good place right now.
No.
He's,
so that's my pick.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going for.
That's a good one.
He aspires to be Henry G. And now he's
I think
with
we all
Anders.
do.
In a way,
part.
deep down. Yeah.
Yeah. You're our guy.
I'm not even there yet. I'm still trying to make
Be
it
yourself.
happen. Yeah.
I'm still trying to be me in some weird way.
Let's move on.
Yeah, great. Official Virus. Brilliant name. Do you boys believe that this is the tournament that Liquid will upset Astralis? What do you think?
We know the map, don't we? We saw his overpass.
Saw overpass,
Oh, no,
yeah.
that was
Yeah.
Was that the? Oh,
There's a lot of overpass,
right? Yeah. I think they will win that game. Won't necessarily win the whole thing. I hope it's those two in the final. I think that's the most compelling game for me, at least. I think if we're just going to base it on the opening match between those two, I think Liquid will beat them in that overpass game.
You think so?
I just got a feeling. Obviously, I can't really predict the future. You know,
I wonder if he's thinking, will they beat them in the final?
I think
that's what I think.
And I think that's a whole different beast.
Yeah.
Like the best of one, but the best of three just seems so far away.
That's what we said. It's about the map, right?
Yeah, exactly.
About the map. If Liquid actually managed to have a few more maps under their belt that they're really strong on, and individually, definitely they can up toe-to-toe with Astralis.
Yeah.
We have seen it in Sao Paulo. Mighty big. Granted, they have had a very good preparation to this event. They haven't been anywhere since Sao Paulo. Then yes, but we have to take a gamble as to how they have evolved in the practice. That's pretty much the thing. If that's just a rinse and repeat, then probably not, because they don't have the map pools to go on best of 3 versus Astralis. If they have practiced and they actually improved, then yes, definitely upset potential.
Okay, I'm looking forward to seeing what happens. But with Astralis dropping 4 maps this year,
Yep.
we'll have to wait and see what happens.
They have lost to Liquid at least, right? So
3
Yeah,
times.
this is true.
Yeah.
3 times.
3 out of 4.
3 out of 4 maps are Liquid. The other one is Renegades at the major.
Yeah.
Massive.
Mirage,
Okay, so if
And that there is twice Dust 2 and one Overpass.
many teams in Yamaha.
Was that just the one Inferno game against Renegades? I didn't
No,
even
that was
know.
Mirage.
Mirage.
The
Oh,
comeback.
that's
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Okay, yeah.
13-2 comeback?
That's
12
right.
Yes.
comeback? something?
Yeah, that was in
Wild.
Mirage.
Okay, we have the Denk Mems coming with create a team full of casters and analysts. Who would be in there?
We gotta
Oh,
have,
this is a difficult question.
we
Right
gotta
now.
have
This is gonna.
NVG in there.
This
I'd
is
probably
Are we
pick-
doing a meme
I would
team?
pin my no. We're putting the best team forward.
Okay,
so
so
for me, it's
Bardolph's out?
in-game leader. I'll pin myself forward for that one. I'll step into the role.
Okay.
We're gonna take Maniac with us as well. That's gonna be.
I was
going
gonna get very, very upset if you
Trust
didn't.
me, I'm
Very
I'm
upset.
drafting.
I was waiting for that.
He's
drafting
sitting there
in my
brooding,
team.
going, "Please pick
I'm
me." This
drafting
is
in my team.
First draft. Okay, cool.
First draft.
I'll throw
First
nades.
draft.
I'll
Okay.
happily throw nades.
Okay.
Support player coming in.
Okay.
Yeah, there we go.
So I guess the question is, who'll be the fifth player? Who'll be the fifth?
I guess
how many
are you
other
talking about this?
The
This
ones,
talent
the
pool?
people here, or
I guess
just in
everyone.
general?
Yeah, this. I think let's use this talent pool out here, or I mean, you could do both if you want to, but let's use this one that's here.
Here first,
this
I think
weekend,
us four right here is a pretty good
Not
shot
bad.
already.
Yeah, who could we take down?
I just
Having
like
a
the way yeah, sports
Connor's
pretty
over
good.
here.
Connor, I
Wait,
didn't
wait,
realize
wait,
Connor's
wait,
there.
wait,
He's just
wait.
like, guys.
Yeah,
Right.
I'm
Forgot
looking
about
at you
me.
thinking about marketing potential, like
Yeah.
posters, and we
Well,
release
this is why
songs.
we
I
set
just-
the chairs up like this because this is
Yeah.
how we could do our press conferences
Yes.
and stuff like that,
Perfect,
right?
yeah.
It's like watching the Avengers press panels at the moment for the Endgame. movie.
Exactly.
Really
Just
is.
watching
Cool.
that, it's
Just
like,
like more muscle though.
yeah, you're like
In general, I
yeah,
would
Chris
say.
Hemsworth,
less
and
muscle,
all
yeah.
these guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah, definitely. You guys would be great. But who'd be the fifth person?
Okay, so
Are you trying to get
you
in
mentioned
on
Connor.
this, or, yeah.
There's another Connor
Yeah.
at this event.
Sliggy. Yeah, you can bring him in.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
decent.
Pretty
Okay.
good call.
Sure.
I guess you've got some heavy hitters out there. You've got
Yeah.
the X-Pros. You've got like the Pimps, the Sponges.
The pimps and the
The Pimps and the
Well, okay,
Sponges.
fair enough.
I'm trying to think of the other
I
the
love
heavy
CS.
hitters. We've
So
got
you got. Well, we should give an honorable mention to Moses. I feel.
oh yeah, of course.
Oh, yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
Naturally.
I guess
Jason.
we could ask Twitter to tweet at us who would be the fifth.
The dream
This
Yeah,
team.
who's-
Like, you know,
who's
they have
the
a dream
fifth?
team. We need one here.
Yeah.
So who
In
would
the
be
dream
there?
team.
Tweet us. Blast Backstage. Who's gonna be there with
There you
us?
see.
Scrawny, why don't you
Exactly.
come to sit on the fifth chair, man?
Yeah.
You want to come over?
Come on,
Join us.
come and get in here, Scrawny.
Oh, don't be
in.
shy.
Yeah.
Can I say
Get
I'll
in
just
here.
be like very disappointed if Twitter doesn't go with
already
James
dressed up.
Bardolph.
Yeah.
is as well.
He has a good fan base. I believe.
Yeah, I was about to say.
So
Everybody
Scrawny
wants to
fan
see
Uh,
Yeah.
Rocking that
kill.
red polo.
Scrawny,
Ooh.
how are you?
He's got the red socks on and the red shirt. That
Nice.
is dedication
Cool.
to the game, man. I like that.
that
that is- that is snazzy.
welcome,
Thank you.
welcome,
Thank you.
welcome to the squad. Welcome to the squad.
Yeah, it's nice to be here. I was enjoying this. It's nice.
This is nice. Yeah,
Yeah.
We're glad to have
Connor,
you.
why should you be on? Why should you be the fifth man on this squad?
Uh,
why should
Yeah,
you?
pitch yourself.
After
Why?
this-
Why
Yeah.
should you take over Adam's spot?
Thank you. Yeah, why?
I mean,
Why the hell are you here? Yeah.
when was the last time you launched Counter-Strike, Adam? That's the answer right there.
I'm
No,
very
I
busy.
think he's not here, but you got to consider Hugo Byron. Hugo Byron is a
He's
serious
adopted
Counter-Strike
Vertigo.
player.
He's
Yeah.
been-
Yeah,
Dr.
yeah, if we're-
Vertigo.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
with Vertigo coming into the pool, we would need someone to actually just teach
That's
us
true.
the call.
How else are we going to beat Astralis? We have to be able to do that.
Yeah.
We don't
Fair
ban
point.
Vertigo.
This is it. This is the team right here. I want to see you guys at the next Blast Madrid. This is
All right.
this is the lineup.
Well,
Yeah.
I have
All
now that we're talking about talents as players, I have this feeling that if we were to ever do a show match between, say, old guard casters, upcoming casters, I think the new guns have a shot at that one.
Who would you
I-
pay in the
I
old
think-
guard, though? Who's
Yeah,
the old
yeah.
guard?
Massive.
I'm kind of old.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. yeah.
We're all old.
Yeah,
I'm pretty
true,
old
true.
right now. My
Who's
fingers
in
don't
there?
work as quickly.
How are you differentiating between
You know,
the
you
new
can
and the
choose. Like I would say, let's say if it was me as a captain
old? Sure.
and you as a captain.
Okay, I understand.
Right? And you
Yeah.
had to build your
But how-
team.
like these guys have been around for like
Yeah, yeah.
15 years themselves. So you've
Right.
got, but talent,
Oh,
like,
that's
True.
Yeah.
Eh?
like he's an
There's not many new guys.
Maniac's only been an analyst what, like 2 years, maybe, like officially.
Yeah,
a year now.
on
A
and
year,
It's been,
right? So like,
less than a
Right.
year.
is he new school or is
Am
he
I
old
new or
school?
old? I've played the game 20 years. So where do I go?
Yeah, we've
Yeah,
got.
it's true.
Yeah.
It's hard to draw lines
Exactly.
at
Yeah,
that
it
point,
is.
right?
You need to think about this before you say things.
Yeah.
Well,
Is
we can
your-
take
is
Nifty
your-
then. This is Nifty's first event. Forget
That's-
Nifty's
oh,
first
yeah,
event.
Nifty's
Yeah,
now
we forgot
talent.
about
Wow,
that.
that's
Yeah.
kind of unfair.
All right,
a little
okay.
bit. Yeah.
You could justify him as the fifth
I like that.
just in this event's team.
Why is he
Very
not
much
sat
so.
here right now?
But
Where
we
is
could be.
Nifty?
What's that?
Is Nifty coming or?
Cocktails, mate. Cocktails.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right.
Miami's
It's
got
really
him.
nice
got the
outside.
better of
Tonics, yeah.
Miami's got him now. Miami's got him.
Yeah.
Well, welcome to our panel, Strawny. Straight
Thank
in
you.
there with the good stuff. I love it.
That's good.
Right, let's have a look. Andre Mercado says, "What do you guys think is the best team of all time, 2012 through 2019? Astralis, TSM, Dignitas, NIP,
Very
IBR,
specific question.
SK, LG, Fnatic." So he's listed every single team he can think of.
It's like
Who's the
So-
best out of all these teams?
Well,
Okay,
Astralis is the best team of all.
So Andre,
time.
thanks for the question, guys. Which one do you think there sticks out for you the most? Who's the most kind of
It's got to
Should we
be.
say aside from Astralis?
Yeah, exactly. Can we
Aside
talk
from
aside
Astralis.
of
We've got to
Astralis?
talk. Okay, that's fine. We've got
Yeah.
the context of like if you look back at 2015, the level of play
New
wasn't as
Fnatic.
high as it is now. So
Yeah.
it's very difficult to compare the two. It's like apples and
Mhm.
oranges almost. But in terms of like, let's maybe reword the question. Like you can say, what's your favorite like like era of
legendary
the game?
team,
Yeah,
yeah.
like what's
Yeah.
your favorite one out of those?
Ooh, that's I want to pick multiple ones.
Yeah,
I think I feel like that's a
kind
bit of a
against
cop
the
out. Yeah,
question.
exactly.
It's very sweet.
No, okay.
way to
You
put it.
know what? I'm gonna go with a short and sweet one and say NIP
right.
for that, simply because they kind of
Freiburg.
they just kind of started something special that we hadn't seen in such a long time. I mean, even if you go back to 1.6, you have to go pretty far. Pretty far back in time to find a
Nazi
dominant
days.
team, right? You had in 2003 the SK lineup that didn't lose a map or didn't lose a tournament they attended, right? That kind of a thing. Or now you have NIP going on a 87-0 map win streak. They're dominating everyone. And again, it's the fusion of two very split communities and 1.6 and Source coming together with a team that has a mixture of both games. And being so successful, right? Playing off of each other, playing great Counter-Strike, and just being so much better. And again, like forcing their opponents to become better players as well. Because for the longest time, it was just very games. That was all you had in terms of competition.
Existence.
Yeah, I mean, and when you saw the converts in VP, Navi, they were pretty goddamn awful at the game at the start. So I think they launched something so big and something so important that I feel like they...
An ode to NIP.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Okay.
Fair
I think
play,
that's
fair play.
that's a lovely answer.
Yeah.
You should just leave that.
I couldn't
Don't
even
let anyone
know
else
how,
ruin
yeah.
it. Just accept that one.
Fnatic were good too.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Let's move on.
They were.
That was great. That was wonderful. Thank you very much. More questions coming in. Another one from Matthews is very eager. He's an eager beaver today. Do you think there is a team right now whose play style would fit Vertigo as a map? Do you have any wild guess which team it would be?
So, okay, the easy answer is obviously Astralis. But because the verticality and because it's very apparent to Nuke in the two levels, I would say that because we've casted it with Stunner in Shanghai, and it was very interesting to see teams getting used to it as the match would go on.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to be an extremely strategic map. There's so many angles. Like you have to realize when you play CS, and we all play CS, with your crosshair, you usually you scan at a very stable level. You look for the head. That's what you usually do. And some maps maybe they have a second level, so your mouse is supposed to go like this. But on Vertigo with the boxes, it's everywhere. People can be everywhere. Just halfway through, and so I think it's going to be a very tactical map. And in that sense, I have to say Astralis are poised to just take the map and dictate how it is.
MIBR just before you guys came on was saying about the speed of Vertigo is a massive factor as well. Like it's a real fast map.
Speed and mid rounds. That's why I would say ENTs, because I think ENTs have incredible communication. So I think any team that's got really good communication and can work into those like 3v3 situations are going to have a bit of comfort on Vertigo. There's a lot of stuff that you can do in the middle. But between Star Series and then coming here, I must have played like 20 games of Vertigo at least.
Right?
Like
really?
Specific.
That's
hands
dedication right
down.
there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we have to commentate it at Rio, right? The first event that uses it. So we're good.
Apart from Star Series, that was the show. I had to watch
The
show match.
So yeah, any team that can mid round call is going to have a good time on Vertigo.
Nice. Looking forward to that.
ENTs.
Let's have a look. From Tom Elix Johnson says the fifth has surely got to be Flom.
Oh, yeah.
You're using the blast.
Okay,
Mavi.
that's true.
So Flom, what do you think?
Flom is a lovely man, and he's pretty decent at CS as well.
Got a good beard.
The fact he hasn't turned up to this show, though, kind of...
Does a lot.
Yeah, like he's not dedicated to the team.
Yeah.
He's actually down here.
It's like it starts here, then he
He's
doesn't
a
show for
letdown, Larry.
practice.
He's a letdown,
exactly.
Larry.
Yeah.
He's let us down, which is unacceptable, really.
Yeah.
It's
But
a slippery
we
slope.
But we love that. We love that from Tom. That's
We've all
nice.
played for so long, we know when to nib a problem in the butt, right?
Thank you. Jester has come in with, if Scrawny ever gets Swole, what will he rename to Chunky?
No, it's Scrawny to Brawny.
Scrawny to Brawny.
That is better.
Right?
Than what
Yeah.
he came up with,
Brawny.
whatever that was.
You've thought this
Didn't work.
through. Like it's a whole like
You're
storyline
working
to it.
out now, aren't you?
Yeah.
How long have you been doing it for?
Since December.
Nice.
December this year. Yeah.
Like 3 days a week, 4? What are we talking?
Every second day during the week. So
Nice.
3 days a week.
Yeah.
All right.
But
What
it's
were you doing? You like benching? You kind of like cardio stuff? What are you doing?
Yeah,
yeah, you got to start with cardio, right? You got to
Yeah.
do like I'm a cross trainer kind of guy.
Okay.
You know the.
Yeah, sure.
Oh yeah.
I always
I can
want
imagine
to
that.
call it the eucalyptus, but it's not that.
What?
It's the
Definitely
elliptical, right?
elliptical.
Yeah.
That's definitely like
You know, it's a little
Tree of
close.
blossom, on the eucalyptus.
just climbing a tree. Just climbing a tree. Yeah,
Keep it basic. Upper
good.
body day, lower body day.
Has
Yeah.
there been any weight gain? Is that what we've gone for?
It was actually been weight loss, the other way around.
Oh, weight loss. Okay.
Okay.
I got the name Scrawny. That's what we'd be going for.
Yeah.
Halvor's, look at
Good
Halvor's
for
been
sure,
well as well. You've been
Yeah.
pumping the iron up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
No,
can
he's
recognize
looking
it today. I
sturdy.
was like, you've actually put some muscle on. This
Yeah,
dude's
yeah,
looking
yeah.
good.
Yeah, no, I'm nearing 80 kilos for the
Nice.
first time in my life.
Nice.
So
Nice.
yeah, I've
Sweet.
always been a scrawny kid, pretty much. So yeah, and then
Welcome to the club, man.
yeah, man. 2 years back, I was like 64 kilos, and I've
Yeah.
always been like 186.
Yeah.
So
That's the cool thing actually. A lot of these blast events, obviously, you get time before the matches kick off. You see like teams, everyone's in the gym, man. Everyone's working it. right?
Oh,
Yeah.
like Twist, like that's dedication. Like so, we were in the hotel gym yesterday, me and Smix, and Twist just pops his head in to like just scout the area, and it just wasn't like he didn't approve fully of it. So he's like, I'm just gonna take an Uber to like the nearest gym because he's like just wants to get like that workout in.
Wow.
That's dedication.
That is commitment.
Yeah,
Ubering to another gym.
yeah.
There's one on your doorstep.
It's pretty, pretty hefty.
But you know, it's you know, it's great to see all the teams that you mentioned, nutritionists and stuff. It's a big factor now. The whole keeping fit and keeping in shape. So
I think people start to realize that the performance, there's many factors that come into it. It's not only just playing, keyboard and mouse.
Yeah.
How you feel, how you sleep,
Yeah.
obviously what you eat and exercise you do.
Everyone's doing Sudoku every 5 seconds.
Maybe.
Crosswords.
I don't
Keeping
exactly
this
know
on
if
top
they
of
do
this.
that. It's like it's a part of a big thing.
Yeah, I
think
like
it's-
word searches personally. I'm a big word search fan.
Ooh.
Nice.
Like those?
Should I
do
do that in the skills that you had?
Yeah.
Word searcher.
There you go. Brilliant. Let's have a couple more questions before we get Navi in. Fledge, what do you guys think of the round robin format at events? Do you like it?
It depends on the event. If it goes well, it can be amazing. It can lead us right to the final game, really meaning something, a lot on the line.
Yep.
Sometimes it can lead to games having no impact whatsoever. Sometimes it's awesome, sometimes it's not. But for this kind of 2-day format, it works the best, I think.
Yeah.
You don't really have enough time to do a proper best of 3 all the way through Swiss format. So this is something, it's a bit different, it's a bit faster paced, and can lead to something amazing or not so much.
Yeah.
It's a gamble,
It is.
and it all works out. What do you guys?
And the tournament owns it, and it's important that every tournament's got its flavor because there are so many events. So I think it's good to stand out. And apart from like one kind of format, everyone's got its flaws basically, unless you like reseed and best of 3s and all of that stuff. So this is a little bit kind of easier on the eyes for some people. It's like more fun to watch, and it's also interesting to have best of 1 specifically for what the results come out in the vetoes.
Yeah.
So it's good that it's.
I think the fans clearly love the format as well, because even if you're a casual CS fan or more of a hardcore, you're getting the best of both worlds, really. Anyone can come watch 2 days event and kind of get an idea of what's going on and find out.
That's the spot on part. I think it's the people who come into 10 blasts in person that get the most out of it, because that's such an action-packed day of Counter-Strike. You don't know who you're going to get to see in the best of 3.
Yeah.
It is just that one best of 3, so you have something to look forward to at the end of the day. Show match is huge, I think, in terms of like enjoyment and upgrade. I think Nicholas was saying that after the response from Sao Paulo, the show match has gone from the lowest rated fan experience at the entire event to one of the top 3 like favorite moments, right?
It's great,
so all it took was falling boxes and surfing in your show match.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you cast yourself in front of that crowd like Copenhagen and stuff. When you have those fans there, it's an amazing experience. They love every minute of being there and kind of soaking it all up. It's awesome. I can't wait to see what happens on Saturday. I buzz. I can't wait because being there on the stage and seeing it all happen and get to experience it together as a team, which is great. One of our last questions. GWS says, "Who is your favorite entry fragger of all time?"
Freakazoid.
Of all time.
Freakazoid.
Yeah, man, I like that.
Yeah, it's
I like
good.
that. It's crazy, man.
Yeah,
That was
like,
good.
when it clicked and he came into his prime, it was actually pretty sick to watch. Actually, it wasn't.
Yeah,
I
and I love when it cut back
cool.
the camera after the round and he got 2 entries and just be like, his eyes are just like bigger than you've ever seen, and just be like shaking his head like this, like, yeah, man, yeah.
I think he's one of the players that defined that role. To be honest, like he really stuck to that kind of position. That's why I kind of liked him when he was in his prime. That era, like the 2015 summer run, like that was when it was actually really kicking off. I thought it was fun.
I picked my favorite from 2015 as well, and that was Apex.
Okay.
Because of his Cologne run.
Sure, makes sense.
Basically seeing him run through Kabul as a just one-man army and having success with it so frequently, it's just something was stuck with me. And it's just like the fact that when he gets into his go zone, it's just something different from, I guess, more measured entry fraggers that you can
He's not measured.
No,
He doesn't stop.
exactly, right? So he doesn't stop, but when other people would be like, I got the entry frag, and everyone's like, oh, sick, now we can work off of, 5v4 advantage, he would just be like, I got 1, I can get 3 more. And it's just like, keeps running at them. And surprisingly enough, like, when he gets into his groove, it works out a lot of the time, which is just amazing to watch.
I'm gonna talk about Freiburg on old
Inferno.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
He would turn an entry into an ace onto an
solo B take, like
run
got
from A to B and just kill everybody on the way. It was like a Terminator. That was sick.
I love it. Love it. What about you guys?
I like Bayali when Virtus Pro was actually playing well. He
starting to be
back in time.
Yeah.
He was very impressive, like pure raw skill. Maybe not like the best decisions ever, but whenever you would meet him, you would die. That's it.
That was it.
That was it. You could see him, then that was it.
That was it.
So yeah, Bayali was cool.
Nice.
His prime.
Lastly, Scrawny.
I'm going to repeat Maniac and say, excuse me, Vendetta and say Apex.
Nice.
Yeah, something about Apex setting up Kenny S onto platform of cobblestone was just like, you lose.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
Thanks for playing. Yeah, love it. Let's get one more. Shall we get Chase says, do you think there will be more options if utility damage was to get nerfed? Love from Miami. Hey, thanks,
So
Chase.
what do we define get nerfed? Like less damage with a grenade or like
I guess
or
so.
something?
I wouldn't say more options.
Yeah.
I don't see the.
I mean, less options.
Well,
less
well,
options.
you say that. I think that like his mindset is, let's say you play Nuke, right? So the second CT get stable economy, any sort of inner rush is becoming increasingly more difficult because of the effectiveness of Molotovs, right? Like basically just being able to shut off entire sections of the map for a certain period of for a certain period of time initially to start things off against, limits, rushes. You have the same thing versus Banana as well. Like if you were trying to take Inferno quickly, well, you're going to run either through smokes or through Molotovs, all that kind of stuff. I wouldn't say that you get necessarily more options.
Yeah.
I still think it's something that you can still utilize. You can still power through it, right? Like, again, we've seen teams starting to utilize their own smokes to extinguish Molotovs and get past it in that sense and so on. So I just think it requires a different mindset.
It's like with HEs, I was like, they're already
pretty
barely
bad.
worth. They're already
weak,
barely worth
very
$300.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I think
don't know.
if you changed it so they had a bit more damage, like through walls and stuff
they
like
should
that.
do bit. They
Yeah,
should.
just a
By
little bit,
default,
just so like you clip through all the pixels and
like the
everything
side
that
of a
blocks it.
stair doesn't take.
Yeah,
100
they just
damage.
changed that. That's not more options, but make the grenade more viable. I think that's something that could like not so much 1.6 style, but just split the difference. So
Yeah,
you have a
split
bit of
the
damage come through.
I think that works both ways as well, like for CT side and T side as well, right? Like in terms of how you want to play it, if the AG is just more effective, because then we can see more stack nades kind of things
And I think you have
happening.
to be more calculated with your approach as well. If you know, like I'm just running into the open into a choke point here, you kind of say, well, the grenade's probably going to touch me. You have to like kind of think about how you're going to take certain points of the map a bit more.
Absolutely.
Something.
Yeah.
Anyway, not the funniest answer, but
Oh, we get very nerdy about this.
No. This is great. This is what you guys are here for, to give us the insight. So, what is the name? Matvienko Max. Matvienko Max says, can Navi win the blast and upset Liquid and Astralis? Maybe a new era of Navi starts soon. Well, I think it's already, we're already seeing they're winning things, they're doing well. This could be a really big kind of like, year for the team.
Part one, maybe.
Yeah, exactly.
Part two,
That's
maybe a bit
different
too
things.
early.
Yeah.
In
Very
fact, that would be impossible for us to know. Even if they did win blast now, like that's not enough. It would take months of winning.
So based on what we have seen last weekend, yes, they can potentially pull an upset here. But then again, Liquid and Astralis weren't here. So it might very well be that in 3 days we're going to say, well, guys, guess what? We were wrong. We exaggerated this result. Navi have been outclassed by Liquid and Astralis. That is possible. If they repeat their performance, yes, they can pull an upset because I think they've looked very impressive in Shanghai. Not only simple and electronic, I think Halva said it. Edward was very, very good. And Flamey wasn't even like at his best. He can play better than what he did in Shanghai. So that is a scary prospect. I think the map pool is pretty great on the Navi side. It's not like they have like 2 or 3 very big weaknesses. They can play pretty much all the maps. Just cash they don't play. So there are a lot of elements put together to mean that Navi could actually pull an upset here.
Do you think when they obviously, sorry, cut you in there, Squanny, but
No,
when you see like Navi, who haven't had a chance to go up against, as you mentioned, Liquid or Astralis in Shanghai, do you think they kind of see that and go, okay, this is great, there's a chance to actually win this thing, or do they actually see it as a chance, we're not going to compete against the best, we want to beat the best to get to that kind of accolade?
I guess you want to win every tournament you attend to. And
Doesn't matter.
obviously you don't really think about who's here or not here. You just, who is my next opponent? Who do I have to prepare to? And then, yes, once you win that tournament, then you have to have someone in your staff that's going to help you put some distance and perspective on that result. Like, because they could go out of Shanghai thinking, guys, that's it, we're the best. And then someone should probably tell them, well, chill down. They couldn't have weren't here. So what we did good is perfect, but, let's think about the next tournament. But I don't think it comes into mind so much when you start a tournament. You don't really think about who's not here.
Yeah.
At least I didn't used to.
You just care about winning.
Yeah, we tried.
I'm playing well. I'm playing well. Playing well as well. Thank you. Yeah. Well, guys, thank you so much for being here, for chatting to me, for hanging out, keeping me company.
Thank you for having us.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you so much. But I've got Navi coming on right here, right now, who's going to
So you need to get out of here, what you're saying.
I think what I'm trying to say
He's had enough.
All right, you guys
politely
jog on. Leave now.
All right, we're going.
Get out of here as we have Navi coming on right now, who's going to be joining us. But thank you all so much. We're going to see over the course of this weekend. And as all the points, the guys as well, can you just leave off the Swedish fish? All right? Why are you eating it like you're some kind of weird shark kid?